Well, great start again, Cody. Thank you for that. But it's Monday, and you know what that means. It's time for another sensational week of SAF1 Esports action, brought to you by me, Matt, around the magnificent Spa-Francorchamps circuit adjoining the Ardennes Forest. As you can see, it's a bit wet today, which is a bit of a hazard when you're in a rainforest. These things can happen. I'm just curious as to see how they will cope with these conditions early on. No word yet as to whether it's going to be a dry race or not, so we will find out together. And yeah, I've barely got over last week, to be honest, and now we're back again for some more action. We also had Nadine win last week from Ray and Josh on the podium, and yeah, it was some brilliantly executed strategies, especially from Nadine and Ray there, to get themselves another podium. And I'm just Risky's out on the wet's the only one to do so. So let's just see how much of an advantage or disadvantage that would prove to be. Well, we'll find someone else that's closer to starting a lap at the moment. Let's see where Risky is. He's actually not that far away, so he's about to come up to Blanchimont, so we will stay on board with Risky and we will keep an eye on the Inters runners that have just started a lap, but I want to see what the benchmark is. And there's a yellow flag in sector 3, someone, so, and that, yep, the game saw what was going to happen. Apologies, but I saw every second of that crash there, sir. Do we call that a commentator's curse, or have I killed another one? Sorry. Let's go to one of the drivers on a lap. He's just started, so let's go to the other McLaren who hasn't found a wall yet. Looks like Inters is possibly the right tyre to be on, but we will see. We will see. It's a shame that we lost Risky so early, but that's what happens when you try something a bit different. Sometimes it backfires and you end up wearing a wall as a necklace, but never mind. I'm sure he'll dust himself down and go again for the race. But that's very close to invalidation there as he comes through Pouhon. But Alonso's still on a lap. And it is... yeah, it is quite wet, but not wet enough for the full wet tyres unless you're running offline. That's a very interesting call at the moment. And that's how to say Blanchimont. And let's just see what he can do as he comes towards the bus stop chicane, which is no longer a bus stop because it's supposed to go the other way. I remember that from back in the day, 1998 specifically. I remember that. It changed not long after that, I think. 55.8. That's... don't be beaten by anybody yet, but let's have a look at Zardi in the racing point. Locks up, very tentative on the steering, but manages to get it turned in eventually. Will not go quickest with that, but will set a time, which is important. The Inters will only get quicker. Quintin's just getting out the way there, or he lost it, I don't know. I got there kind of late, but anyway, that's not going to be a decent lap for him. He's having a moment, but the Matter's about to start a lap. So we'll come to him a bit later on and let's see what Calvin can do. Or shall we... yeah, he is on a lap. Yep, sorry. It's definitely not flat through Redion. Not yet. And of course, some of these cars have have black front wings, so I always think the damage. So if I'm hesitant, sometimes it's because I'm checking the car for damage. It looks like he's got no front wing there, but then he gets closer and it's just an illusion. Cheers for that, Alfa Romeo, you designers. Whew. Quinton did get across to the line in a 59.8. That's got a timing, which is also important, especially if conditions don't improve. Gavin seems to be, I'd say struggling, but I don't know if he is or not. He just looks a little bit hesitant and tentative on steering, but of course I understand why. It's tricky out there, but he has set a purple sector too, so maybe it's just another optical illusion. I'm interested to see how far up the grid he can get with this time. Someone's just improved there. I didn't see who it was. I think it may have been Eugene in P4. Could be wrong on that one. Here comes Calvin. There you go. 3/10 ish. Yeah, I just got 2.5 tenths there from Mackett there. And Vino is in a Ferrari. That's about as much as I've got for him right now. Of course, should take a moment to check something, because all the drivers I asked them today, first, for various reasons, one of the races will not be run this season and removed from the calendar, and the recipient of that goes to the USA track, Coda, which some of the drivers are happy with, some are not, and yeah, it is what it is. It's a shame that one track had to go, but the reasons are fair enough and understandable, and Speed Knighton is missing all the fun. But yeah, so I'll get to those responses in a moment, but let's have a look at the standings after last week's amazing action. A little bit of a twitch there for Vino, but he managed to keep it out of a wall. And let's just go on board with Caesar, who's just about to come through the bus stop now to set his first time lap of the session. And he goes across the line and puts it into P3. On board with Trav, the championship leader, who has 286 points at this point. Conrad is next with 259, and Mackett third with 251. Nadim's fallen back a little bit despite the win with 229. Ray is fifth with 190. Then you have the Matterhorn 174, Phantom 160, Quentin 148, and that's Trav out, as you can see there. That's two I've got. Okay, I'm not trying to do this, I promise you. It might look like I have, but anyway, let's see what Dukester can do. Let's see if he can get a lap time in. The Ferrari looks a little bit rear heavy, but anyhow. Where did I get to? Sorry, 141. Matt with 111 in the other Renault. Knighton on 107. Alonso 80 points. Caesar on 71. Vino 48. Josh on 41. Dukes on 39, which we are still on board with now. And then Calvin has 36 points. Speed Risky has 21. And we move to the constructors, which is all change again. Williams at the top with 412. Mercedes with 399. Renault with 396. AlphaTauri 293. Red Bull 292. Racing Point 283. Alfa Romeo 282. McLaren 146, Ferrari 111, and Haas break the 100 points to move to 108, and Dukester moves into P2. Decent lap there, just a little bit slower than Conrad, who has just been beaten by Caesar there. Wow, You don't expect that very often. When Conrad gets pole, well, he tends to keep it for a while, so that's a decent effort from Caesar there. Can he go even quicker? Will Mackett go quicker? Yes, he's improved a little bit. Will Conrad improve later? Will Mata get up there? Unfortunately, we know Trav can't, so he will just, if it stops raining, he will fall all the way back to down to the back, which is not a bad thing. Xander's about to go across the line as he comes through the bus stop now. Let's see if he can get the power down at the optimum moment. Let's see what he does as he comes across the line. P6, 154.505. Alonso is on an outlap, so he's been in to change something. Maybe he tapped the wing or needed new tyres or less fuel, I don't know. But Phantom is on his way back to do exactly the same thing. As is Zardi. Is anyone on a lap? Yeah, Vino looks like he's improving, so let's stay on board with him and see what he can do. And that's not gone well for another driver I've gone on board with, so let's have a look at... Oh, Speed Knighton can do a lap. That's awesome. It always baffles my mind when people join late in quali and can still do a lap, so that's great. He is on an outlap at the moment now. He is just cruising around, letting people by, which is always good to see, especially in the rain. It's ever so tricky, but I think it's... Looks like it's lightened up a tiny fraction, but not enough to note anything else of merit there. But yes, I asked all the drivers today if there was a track they'd rather have been removed, or they're happy with the USA being the one to get removed from the calendar. Hey, sorry about that. Yep, there's a few that are in favour of it, there's a few that aren't a fan of it, but I think we're all in agreement that it could have been a worse track to get removed. I'm not going to go into specific details, but that's just the topic on the agenda that I thought I'd get the drivers' thoughts on, and let's see what Speed Knighton can do. On his first flying lap of the session, there was a car nicely out the way there, that's appreciated. But Speed Knighton makes it through Eau Rouge and Radion at the first occasion through at, well, not top speed, but first flying lap, I guess you can call it, and purple through Sector 1. So let's just see what else he can do. Can he maintain this through Sector 2, or is this where the setup falls away a little bit and then gets it back through Sector 3? I'm not sure what kind of setup these guys will go for with 3 distinct sectors. You have a more high-speed Sector 1 and Sector 3, but Sector 2 is the technical one where you need a bit more stability, so it's going to be interesting to see what these drivers have decided to do today, especially if it is a dry race. They can maximise their setups, and I'm sure all their practice that they've been doing will come into handy. But Sector 2 there is not purple from what I can see, but it is still going to put him quite high up the grid unless he decides to back off in the final sector. But I think we can see from this that he's not completely comfortable. Let's just see what he can do as he comes through the bus stop, gets the power down into the traction zone, accelerates across the line. 154.1 puts him in the top 7, and that is a very decent effort. And I think we will have a look at Phantom, who's just gone on to start a new lap as Knighton stays out of the way, having just completed the lap. So let's Ooh. Yeah, that's a line through Orujan Radion. Just kept him on the track. But it certainly looks like it's a little bit brighter overhead. Still plenty of rain clouds are still dropping rain everywhere, but I mean, there's only 1 minute and 45 seconds left already. That's how engrossed I have been in this session. And I might not look at it at times, but I promise you, I am always paying attention to what's going on. I might not get there straight away, but I have a fair idea. Let's see what Phantom can do though, as he's in Sector 2. He's about to go into the high speed Sector 3. Seems a little bit like he's having a little bit of understeer through there, but he's still improved on his previous best time, which is probably understandable, as Quentin has decided that he can do no... Oh no, wait, I think he's actually found a wall there. He's on board with Mackie, who's behind. Yes, he has. There you go, you see him right there. That's unfortunate. And I missed the end of the lap for whoever I was with, so sorry about that, but I had to find out what happened to Quentin. I thought he retired in the pits, but then I looked at the mini-map and he hadn't. I think Xander has. Let's go on board with Calvin again. Seven Tenths better off through Sector 1 in a largely straight line sector. Speed Knighton can do no more in this session. Is he out as well? There's a car in Sector 1. Yeah, he's a victim of Radion. They're dropping like flies. Although it does whatever that means, you can tell me, but I was going to say it does look as though it could well be slightly better track conditions than at the start of the session, but not by much. So you have to just think the Imola or the race yesterday in real F1, Amelia, whatever it's called. It's a tricky word. Anyhow, wait a minute. Here comes Calvin through the bus stop. Puts the power down eventually. Didn't seem to cooperate too much, and that will put him 5th. Let's see what Mackie can do. Can he improve? No, doesn't look like he can. Will Vino be able to do something? Yes, he's gone quicker through Sector 2, so he will presumably shoot up towards the top 10 with this effort. But how far into the top 10 can he get, if at all? You just saw Mackie there, just nicely out of the way for him. Always appreciate drivers that get nicely out of the way. And here comes Vino across the line. Where does he go? P13, not quite the top 10, but close enough. Yeah, it's about half a second away. Okay, yep. But that's the session done, I think. Conrad does take pole in the end. I didn't see it, but Caesar ran him close through much of the session, as you saw. But yeah, Matter in P3. What a grade we've got. And just to confirm the grid, Conrad from Caesar and Massa and Mackett. That's easy to say. Well done. Calvin in 5th, Matt in 6th in the other Renault. Well, in the other Renault. In a Renault. Alonso 7th, Xander 8th, Phantom in 9th, Quintin rounds out the top 10. And if it is a dry start, they can all have fresh tyres, but if it's a wet start, they will use these tyres, and 11th down could change to another set. Eugene, Dukes, Vino, Trav, Knighton, Zardi, Risky. We saw retire very early on from the wet tyres, and everyone else just and Trav also retired, but I think he lost it. Yes, he did. He lost it as he just crossed the line. He did set a time in the session, but as everyone was able to improve as track conditions got better, then he was eventually knocked down. But it looks like a wet start as well, so this could be a war of attrition. Just think Belgium 1998, the amount of chaos that happened there. If that kind of start happened today, we'd only have about 3 cars left in the race. Because back then, of course, they did have spare cars that all the drivers could go into. But anyhow, the drivers are keen to get away with this. I mean, get away with this? No, get on with it. Oh man, my words are all over the place. I'm excited. Leave me alone. Let's do this. Of course, take this time to thank the sponsors of the league, Ram Solar Renewable Energy, which can be found at ramsolar.co.za, and hopefully they can help you out with your renewable energy needs. Now, why can't the game remember what I had on from last time? No penalties yet. I'll do that every week. Everyone is on the inters. So yeah, it looks like it could well. It might dry out by the end of the race. Looking at this, it's not quite as overcast as he was in qualifying. There are some more. Where's the? It just confused me. There was a penalty sign next to the tyre symbols. I'm not really sure why. Was it the driver or the game? Yeah, the game is the massive error. Yeah, anyhow. Conrad leads them round comfortably. But of course, next time round they'll be going a lot quicker than this, so how many can go wheel to wheel at speed in these conditions, it remains to be seen, but I'm looking forward to the challenge. Matt is in an awesome position right now. He can definitely capitalise on any slow start from his adversaries in front of him. Mackett is in P4. He'd be looking to get away well as also. Calvin in P5. There you go, the error, the penalty's there. I don't know why. Anyway. Of course, you don't have to stop. You can take tyres all the way to the end. I mean, I don't think you could probably get away with it on the inters around this track, but it has to be said, you can do a cheeky no stop in the rain. If anyone tries that today, I will tip my hat to them. You just see Conrad trying to get a little bit of temperature into the rear tyres there, just so he can have a potentially better start than his front row compatriot there, Caesar. But yeah, it's almost go time with the Belgian Grand Prix, and this is gonna be a good one. Sit tight, grab your snacks, and settle down. You don't want to miss a moment of action, and I'll do my best to make sure you don't. What's the betting on a first corner safety car? We've had them in a few of the past few races. I don't think there was one last week, but certainly a couple before that. Anyhow, Conrad is at the front, and let's just get a proper camera angle. Thank you very much. And the lights are on. And away they go at the Belgian Grand Prix, and it's a great start from Conrad. He looks to have gotten away better than Caesar, and although Caesar is on the inside, but that means Conrad will be able to just do a switchback of sorts to take the lead back again. Alonso up to 3, Matter down to 4th. and Mackett won't be troubling him, and the first time up Radion and Eau Rouge and Radion is gonna be the trickiest of the race, because you don't know how the car's gonna feel. Hopefully everyone gets through. Let's just take a quick check at the back. Yes, they have. Don't see any yellow flags, don't see any debris, so that's a good sign for now. But Conrad definitely did the right thing there. Caesar could have got past, but Conrad just did the switch back and threw it back down the inside again to retake the lead into turn 1, and Alonso capitalised in a similar way, presumably to that, but Matt is still doing quite well in P4. Can he hold off Mackett and Matt? Which, come on lads. Can I have some different gamer tags around here? I can't say them all at speed. I'm struggling to say my name most of the time. Trav is at the back. He'll be looking to have solid progression today with minimal incidents as he looks to extend his championship lead, but of course if it finishes like this he won't be scoring any points at all, which is not a disaster, but it's not the best thing to do when you are the championship leader. Of course, points for the top 15, so that's where you get 1 point plus 2 for completing the race, and 1 for driver of the day, and 1 for fastest lap inside the top 10. Conrad first one over the line, so of course he's going to set the fastest lap. There is a yellow flag in sector 3. There's debris everywhere. There's a Ferrari involved, a VSC, and Trav takes this opportunity to pit. There's a lot of cars pitting actually. I wonder how many of them were involved in that just on the run up to the bus stop. There's Calvin's getting the front wing. You saw a Ferrari, it needed a front wing as he came in, so there's at least 2 there with 1, but Mack is just not bothered by that, and he's just going to get on with what he needs to do, and that's perfectly understandable. Of course the VSC neutralises everyone, and those that have just pitted away at the back, but they were able to get a fresh set of inters in, which could be key. We're only on the second lap of the race, but that could well come in handy later on in the race. It looks as though it's still raining for the most part, but I'm just trying to see. There is gaps in the clouds that could well be coming this way, so there's a potential for it to dry up later on, but for now it's still very much a wet start. And Xander's just about keeping it to the track limits there, but it is very definitely not as wet as it was in qualifying, so I'm definitely leaning towards a dry end of this race, but we will see in due course. Yeah, if it does finish like this, and there's a yellow in sector 2 and 3, let me just try and figure out what's going on. It's cleared itself up, but Conrad, if it finished like this, would take the lead of the championship by a couple of points. If Trav cannot score and Conrad gets the maximum for the win, then he will overtake him. And of course Mackett would love to capitalise on that as well, but he's down in P5 at the moment, so he would not overtake Trav with that result, but there's still a long way to go. It's going to be a tricky race for some of these guys, especially when grip starts to be a problem like we've just seen there. That happens, but he did the right thing and just lifted off and controlled his car rather than trying to do extraordinary things which could end up with embarrassment. But the matter's closing in on Alonso here. Let's keep an eye on this battle, and he's going to bring Mackey with him, which is in one respect good news for the championship, but not so good in another. But anyhow, that'll figure itself later on. But for now, it looks like we've got ourselves a battle, which is awesome to see. 3 cars there, all with a little bit of time next to each other. You got a few at the back as well. You got Risky from Knighton and Trav down in 14th, 15th and 16th as well, and Dukes has just come on the back of that battle as well, so there's a 4-car train for the final points by the look of it, and this one here, but everyone else is at least a second in front or behind someone else, so 2 real battles of note, but I'm sure that will change as the race progresses. But we are on lap 3 of 22, and ever so slightly it does look as though it is eased off a little bit in the rain, but it is still raining, so these guys will probably try to take these intermediates to the dry spell, and Conrad will just earn himself an extra point if it stands like this. But of course I suspect it is going to dry up at some point, so lap times will be beaten, but it is definitely easing off out there ever so slightly. Let's see if Mata can do anything to reel in Alonso on this lap. Of course, no DRS in these conditions. It would ordinarily be activated after 2 complete laps, so you would have seen it in use here, but the weather conditions means that it remains offline at the moment, but I'm sure we'll see it later on in the race. Of course, we see this every week, and DRS is just a customary part of F1 these days, but it was very dubious when it was introduced, and I guess remains dubious these days, but not as dubious as another sport which has done a colossal mistake. But I won't go into that on this stream. That's my after hours podcast, which is not PG. I don't actually have a podcast, but I'm thinking of starting one. After I've said that, I kind of have to now, don't I? But anyhow, it'll be full of not very nice words, I can put it that way. But anyhow, I digress. Let's just get back onto this battle with Alonso, Mata, and Mackett seems to have fallen off a little bit, but he's still there or thereabouts. So any slight misstep as Zander overtakes Matt in the other Renault, and yellow in sector 3 has cleaned itself off. Oh, Caesar just maybe that was the yellow flag and he just got back on track, I don't know. Anyhow, Matta's up into P2, Alonso, no he's not. Matta's into P3, Alonso's into P2. Whew, DN Conrad's just wondering where everybody is, and Caesar's going to go for it back down, and the same way that Conrad did at the start, back through turn 1, and he gets that done comfortably. And Mackett didn't really have anywhere else to go, he just tried to hold on, but Caesar got the place back. And it has, I believe it has stopped raining. Let me just confirm that on other cars. I think it definitely has, so we could well be seeing the transition to dries in the next 5 or so laps. So it could be a 12 lap sprint on the mediums to the end. Will be decided in due course, but it definitely looks as though it's definitely a lot brighter out there now than it was at the start, and it's definitely getting drier as these groove tyres displace all the water off the racing line, and eventually you'll see a sign of DRS enabled, which means normal service resumes. But for now, Mata is trying to find a way past Alonso, which I think with the RSC may well have been past the previous time around, down into turn 3 after the Camel Straight. So yeah, definitely track limit infringements for Vino there in P9. First one of the day. I'll be surprised if it's the last. But yes, there definitely seems to be signs of a dry end to this race approaching, but that's a very good bus stop there for Matt, who's a lot closer than he's been the entire race, but I think he may be too close. Because you saw that a few seasons ago in real F1 where you had Vettel and Hamilton when Ferrari was actually a straight line car. When he could actually go in a straight line, he was too close, so he had to lift off, and that didn't give Hamilton a chance of the overtake, or was it the other way around? Whatever, we saw it. See, I do have knowledge. 2 cars have come in for mediums already. Okay, that could be a gamble, but if you're outside the top 10, it's one that could well be worth taking, but at the moment it's not. We will keep an eye on those sector times, of course, but I think the right thing to do now is stay on the intermediates and see where it takes you. As Xander gets a second penalty, which, yep, okay, here we go. I feel it, something's about to happen. I didn't mean that, I meant an overtake, but okay, we'll take that as well. Can Mata find a way past Alonso? Can Alonso continue to defend like he's been and just keep Mata honest and behind him? But that's also brought Caesar back into play as well after a couple of laps falling out of contention. Mackett was also in contention, but he's fallen back a little bit as well. But I think some of these guys aren't as confident in these conditions as others, and that's risky with one there, so that's not great. It's not been a great event for him, but he's up to 12th in the race, I should say, and Mata's come in now. That could be a genius call. Mackett follows him in. Can he get stopped over the line? Yes, they can. That's always good to see. But let's see how far Conrad wants to take these intermediate tyres. It's not completely bone dry yet, but it's drying, and it looks close, as though DRS will be enabled very shortly. There he is. Travers retired from this session, so that's not great for the championship leader. He's lost it at Blanchimont, and that has... oh no, the batter's out as well. What happened there? That's brought a full course safety car out. I'm not sure if that was for the combined incident. Oh yeah, that's... don't know what's happened there. It's an unusual place to have an incident, so I think he must have been trying an overtake, or he's lost it on pit exit or something. I'm not sure, but I'm sure he will be in the chat at some point to explain what happened. But that's a shame. We've lost 2 cars very quickly there, and involved in different parts of the track. One at Blanchimont, one on the other side of the pit wall. And now what do you do, leaders? Are you going to pit for slicks under the safety car, or are you going to wait? It's a very tough call, and that's why these guys are out there and I'm just talking about it. If it was me, I would be boxing this lap, just because there's a safety car. I'm not going to lose too much, and even if I do, then I'll slot back in later and have the advantage of tyres. But anyhow, it's not for me to say what they do. I'm sure these drivers know what they're doing. Well, as things stand, we will definitely have a new championship leader again. All Conrad has to do is get to the end of this race in the position that he's in now, and it looks like he's coming in. Is anyone else going to follow him? Yes, Alonso is in as well. Caesar, will he follow? Yes. Xander, what about him? Is he going to want to lead a lap? No, he's going to come in for tyres. Eugene, let's see what he does. I'm sure everyone will be in now, to be honest. I haven't seen DRS enabled, but I'm not saying it hasn't shopped, I just haven't seen it. Oh dear. That's not going to please him, but Mackett's gone through. He's already on the slick tyres. Let's see if he can lead a lap of this race, or if he's going to come out behind Conrad. Is he going to beat Caesar out? No, I don't think so. No, they're just ahead, you can see there, but he has gained on Xander, so that is decent stop for Mackett there. He's been able to jump a couple of contenders, and now he's outright 4th instead of battling for it. That is his place to lose now. But of course we still have a safety car, so there'll be no overtaking until we go green again, and that's going to be at least a couple of laps away. I'd be surprised if it's the next lap, so I'll say lap 10 we're going to go green again, as those at the back are just sorting out the strategies and everyone's in sync. We've got a couple of, no, just the one hard runner there actually in P10 Phantoms, so that could well be a good call as well. We will see him later on in the race and see how much progress he could make on those. Are these front runners going to go medium to soft? So they're going to try and string the mediums to the end? Hards would definitely go to the end. Phantom could be on a brilliant strategy here, but there's so much moving parts to that I don't know who's going to win this race, which is an excellent thing to have to say. We are definitely on board with P3. And everyone's taken advantage of the safety car to go onto the dry tyres, and yeah, if DRS hasn't been enabled yet, it would have been, but of course now the safety car is out, you have to do 2 complete laps after it goes in for it to be re-enabled, or enabled for the first time as it were. So this race has got a lot going on already. Good luck to me for trying to capture it all. And of course Conrad likes to drop back from the safety car should it notify everybody very, very late that it's going to box, but not on this occasion. So we will again have another lap behind the safety car, as I think that will be it, as Vino is catching up to the back of the field. As we can see now, he's just coming around Blanchimont. Well, he's made an attempt to get around it, but there we are. He's caught them into the bus stop, so we should have safety car in this lap, I believe. And no one has had a late call into the box this time, so that's gonna make me feel good about seeing safety car in this lap. But remember, of course, take it easy to the cars around you, because you can ill afford damage now. Yep, definitely. You see the weaving just try and get a little bit of temperature. It's not going to be easy with the track is going to be colder than they might be used to because of the wet start and the generally lower temperatures. The air temperature is going to be lower as well, which could help the engines a little bit, but not so much with the keeping heat in the tyres. But yeah, it's finally poised, this one, and I can't wait to bring you the second half of this race, which is coming up after this safety car. And a little bit more. Be nice if it would come in this lap though. I think it might do. I think Conrad expects it to. He's dropped off again as he comes to Pouan. And he's just getting as much temperature into the tyres as he can, which gives the safety car more chance to give them notice. But I would imagine any time now we are going to see the magic words at the bottom of the screen. Are they coming? I hope so. There you go. Sometimes I think they need a little bit more notice than that, but at least it's not. At least he's not coming into the final corner, so Conrad can just pick his moment to go when he chooses. Of course, he's going to wait for the safety car to be fully out of the way before he can go. Otherwise, as I mentioned a few weeks ago, the safety car will hold him up on track, and that would be all sorts of trouble. If you catch the safety car before it goes in, it will automatically slow you down. So he's just going to take his moment. He's going to take a few deep breaths, wait for the safety car to go in and pick his moment. He's probably going to go out of the bus stop, but it doesn't really make sense to go before. As you see, he did lift he did. That's right down the, but he's going to go absolutely now. There we go. And everyone else coming around the bus stop is caught them all cold, and that's a sensational restart from Conrad. Now, can Alonso be caught? Is he going to be put under pressure by Caesar on this lap? Not quite, but Mackett and Zander are looking to capitalise on any mistakes ahead of them. Eugene, I haven't seen much of this season, but he's in a very good position at the moment in the Williams. which is usually reserved for, yeah, it's Nadim's car. He's not here this week, unfortunately for him. He's started to get back on the podiums and he misses a race, so that's probably going to be too much trouble come at the end of the season, but it's going to be a great season for him anyway, regardless of where he finishes. Yeah, you have a few battles going on. Of course, DRS still disabled for the next couple of laps, so that's going to be a blessing to some of these drivers, but it is going to be enabled at some point. Let's just see if Mack can force a way through Caesar or Alonso. Can Zander follow Caesar as well? Can Eugene follow? As he's just behind there, you can see, and there's a little bit of a gap, but it's still less than a second back to Zardi and Quintin, so this train could continue to grow for the next couple of laps. Or DRS is being activated, and this gives Conrad all the opportunity in the world to just drive off, and Caesar's just got a track limit warning, and that's what happens when you're under pressure from cars behind. You can just snatch a break here or miss an apex there, and you will get penalties for that, and Conrad is just controlling this race as he needs to do, and that's a move. There's a little bit of argy-bargy there. I'm not really sure if the move was ever on, but we have lost Dukester as well. Looks like he's lost it at Blanchimont as well, and that's a VSC. It's all going off today. Vino was pit under the VSC as his pit lane, as his teammate has retired from this race and left the session. He's gone for soft tyres. That could be a, you know what, that could be a very good thing to do. I'll keep an eye on Vino when we get racing again in the next lap, see what kind of times he's doing, see if he can terrify the cars in front of him. At the moment they won't be worried, but when they see him coming on the soft tyres and things, and there's, here we go, look at all these cars. Not allowed to overtake Mack. It's going to try and overtake Matt, and he's round, and that's just risky. Had nowhere else to go there. I don't know exactly who's to blame for that, but I suspect we're going to have a flurry of cars coming in for new front wings after that. Clumsy racing by the look of it. It's just, it was all very clumsy to try and go 7 wide through there. You know, come on lads, some of you need to think about it. But anyhow, Phantom is on the back of Caesar, and Matt gets 3 stars. I was on board with him there. It didn't look justified to me, but anyhow. Can he get past Phantom? Can he get past Caesar? No, he can't. He's hit the back, and I think some of his front wings flown off as well. Has it? Yes, I think it has. It's all getting a little bit too close now, boys. Come on. Risky's got a time penalty. I don't think he'll... I think he's about ready to launch something at someone. But can we see Phantom go past Caesar? Yes, we can. DRS is now enabled, so that could help some of these guys that are caught in a train. Eugene is being more prime candidate to get an advantage from the DRS as he comes up through Eau Rouge and Radion and onto the Camel Straight, which will give him the first opportunity to use the DRS in this race, and of course this whole event, because it was a wet qualifying as well, so we didn't have it there. But I'm pretty sure he's about to open the DRS. There you go, activated, and this should see him comfortably into P3. Although the drag on that Red Bull is actually pretty, he's just about got through. I thought it would have been a lot easier than that, but hey, it's got through. That's the main thing. A lot of cars in the pit lane now going for soft tyres. Someone's out there to have a little bit of fun now. I think it's definitely getting a little bit silly between some of these boys, but Xander's got a infringement there. I have absolutely no idea what's going to happen in the end, but Phantom is up to P8 on the hard tyre. Let's just see how far up the board he can get with these hard tyres. Speed 9 is never an easy overtake, so Phantom will have to do very well to get past Speed 9 and to get these tyres to the full extent of advantage that he's going to be able to get from them. He's not going to want to sit there for too long, and he hasn't. He's got a good exit out of the corner, but I think Speed 9 will know that he can just sit behind him. He'll get the DRS back again at the top of the hill, and we could see a switcheroo on the next lap. But for now, Phantom is in P7. We'll stay on board. Speed 9 tries to go through, just coming out of the bus stop, but it's a decent idea, and it looked like he was completely on the track there. It would have been a good move had he pulled it off, but couldn't quite do it. Didn't have quite enough space to pull it off. But I think he's gonna just nestle in behind that rear wing of Phantom, get the beep, open the DRS, and fly past him as he comes out of Radion. There's the DRS activation point. There's the DRS being activated, and he goes to the left of the track, and that is an overtake back for P7. We have Risky down here, trading positions with the Renault, and possibly trading positions with the red car behind him as well. Matt has, they both have DRS with the car in front, so that's always good to have. Now let's just see if Risky can get it. He can't, but I thought he might. There was a glimmer of opportunity there, but can he just throw it down the outside? He's still there. Matt will be aware of that. He'll be having orange and blue mirrors on the yellow car. That's always going to stick out, but let's just see what he can do. He stays ahead. I think he has to. Oh, there's Speed just clipped the wall. I think the ZTA just dragged him into it there. I'm not entirely certain about that one. Where's he gone? Risky's out of the race. He's out of the race. That'll be another VSC, and I think that's a lot. It's all going off. There's 8 of the bit laps to go. Yeah, just under 9 laps if you're being especially critical today, but it is a VSC, so no one can overtake, which is a shame for Zardy and Xander and Quintin and Phantom. Well, not Phantom necessarily, he's in no man's land at the moment, but he's Speed 9 that is going back out. Will he get past Caesar? I don't think he will. I think Caesar's going to get P9 here, but I think he's going to get out in front of. Well, I think he could have, you know, but I think he just had a little bit of cold tyres and he just couldn't put the power down the way he wanted to, so that is Matt back up into P10 on the soft tyres. And let's just see how far he can take them. He could go to the end. It's going to be difficult, I think, but if anyone can pull it off, it will be the teammate of the current champion, but it's never easy out there in any condition, especially in the dry around. This track is always ready to bite someone, bite them hard, but Matt and Vino are right behind Speed 9, and let's just see which one of those can make a move happen. That goes a little bit too deep, and it's a no name. And now through Puan, which if you get wrong there will be poo on the floor. Anyhow, for now it looks as though Speed 9's been able to keep these two at bay, opened up a little bit of a gap, so DRS will not be an issue for him. But Vino gets a bit of a harsh penalty there, wasn't it? I'm bored with that. I don't know. Anyway, here we go. Please don't go full wide through Radion and on Rouge, boys. Come on, pay attention. That's an awesome track for Quintin. He's going to get past Xander here. I'm pretty sure he's going to have the DRS. Of course, all cars here will probably have it too, but Caesar with the fastest lap of the race so far, but Quintin is up into P5. Can he defend that? Yes, he can. Can he get Zardy and can he get Eugene on this lap as well? Maybe not quite, but he's definitely going to give himself all the opportunity in the world to do so. The lead for Conrad is just under 4 seconds now, and Alonso is 9 seconds ahead of this battle you're seeing here, so it's all getting very, very tense out there now. 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, all within the same complex of each other. And you've got Vino overtaking Matt down in P11 there. the two soft runners are going head to head. That's not what you want to see. You want to be scaring the medium runners off the road, then. You know, just not off the road literally, but just make them think about changing their tyres to give them position anyhow. Don't listen to me, I don't know what I'm talking about. Clearly that's why I'm watching you guys. Anyway, sometimes I ramble when I'm excited. Ask anyone, they'll tell you. There's a good dab of the brakes there from Quintin. Everyone, of course, has the same opportunity now with DRS in this little gap, apart from Eugene, who won't have any at all. So he's the most vulnerable out of these four cars, but Xander looks to be falling off the back of Quintin ever so slightly since the last time we were on board. So let's just see what happens down the camera straight. Let's go on board with a different car. Let's see if Zardi can make anything happen with the DRS on Eugene. I don't think he's close enough to do anything. He's nowhere near close enough. So the DRS is not as powerful as I thought it might be, but I think it's just because they're starting too far back. But if, of course, it was Quintin on Zardi with it, I'm pretty sure he will get the overtake done, given the time difference between the two. I think if Zardi didn't have DRS, that would be an easy overtake for Quintin, and Xander would obviously try and follow through the position. But let's just have a look at P12 and 11. They seem to be constantly changing positions, so let's go look at them now, as Eugene cannot take the pressure and gets himself track limit warning. So let's have a look at the full list of penalties. There you go, everybody. You have 6 seconds for the driver I'm on board with now, 6 seconds for Xander, and 3 seconds for everyone else that has one. Mackett, Phantom, Calvin and race leader Conrad are clean. Not sure how many warnings they have, but they definitely have no penalties. Everyone's done at least one stop, which of course you have to do in a normal race, but if it's changeable like this you have to. But anyway, I'm just rambling again. Position change up, 12 for Zardi there. That's a good shout for a domination of driver of the day. You have 8 for Eugene, 5 each for Quintin and Alonso. And Knighton's up 5 as well, so not outside the top 10, he's now inside the top 10, so that's always good to see. But it doesn't look as though Vino's going to be able to get back past Matty on this occasion. Looks like Matty's got a much better exit, so let's go back to the battle for the final podium position. Has anything changed since I've been there? Doesn't look like it. If anything, the gaps are slightly further away since I've been watching the other battle, but anyhow, these drivers are going to be giving it everything for the next 4 or so laps. Well, 6 laps, but who's counting? I'm certainly not, clearly. Yep, oh no. I don't know what he's done there, but we're about to find out. Oh, okay. Yeah, I think he's just clipped No Name a little bit too hard. It's just thrown him off, I think. I'm not sure if there was contact there. He was in a battle for position with some of the drivers, but that's a full course safety car. That is going to change his rate. I'm almost certain all these drivers are going to be in for fresh soft tyres. I'm almost certain of that, and Conrad's got an amazing advantage at the front. He's going to be annoyed to see another safety car, but he is going to use it wisely. And I'm just wondering if Phantom's going to stay on the hard tyres. We will stay on board with him for the rest of this lap and see what he chooses to do. It might be worth going for it if he wants to. Of course, everyone else will be in for soft tyres. I'm pretty confident of that. As you can see, soft tyres just beginning to filter his way down the leaderboard now, but Eugene did not pit, so and Phantom is gonna stay out as well. You gotta go for it, I think, if you're in this position. It's unfortunate there is a full safety car, not a virtual, but can he? Yes, I think he's gonna get out comfortably ahead of Quintin. Phantom, there you go. He's on hard tyres, but he's only got 5 laps to see it through to the end, and who knows what happens with the soft runners. They could get a little bit punchy. Is Eugene going to try and stay out there as well? Zardi could probably go to the end as well. I think They could all go to the end on the tyres they're on now, but you can understand why Alonso and Conrad have switched to the soft tyres. They clearly, especially Conrad, clearly wants all the points he can get just to rub it in into Mad Trav a little bit more, as Trav's not even in the race. So as it stands now, I don't believe Conrad can overtake Trav, but I'm sure he'll find a way through on those softs to take one of the top 2 steps, and that would be enough to see him overhaul Trav for the second time this season and lead the championship again. But there's about 4.5 laps to do before that point, so let's just hope the safety car disappears pretty quick, and let's just get on with that. There's Mercedes at the back of Mackett, who's catching up to the back of the pack. Oh no, wait a minute, no they're not. The back of the pack's nowhere near the rest of them. It's only a 4-car train behind the safety car. 4, 5, 6, and Calvin's just joined them now, so yeah. See Conrad weaving the tyres. He would be there. If there wasn't a safety car, he would be the clear 100% dead certain favourite to win the race, but this late safety car has added an element of the unknown to it, and I'm pretty sure Phantom's in a good position as well. Although he is on hards and everyone around him is on soft, so he might not be able to fight them per se, but he is cleaner than most around him, so that's always going to help as well. I think we're going to get one more lap of safety car. So we're going to get 3 lap sprint at the end with 1 lap of DRS on lap 22. Let's do this, fellas. Let's do this. Let's just wait for the final couple of cars to get to the back, which they're doing now. They are approaching the bus stop now, so let's actually go on board with Mackett and let's see the progress. See, there you go. In the bus stop now, which means they won't be far away from the safety car pack. As you can see it just there going into turn 1, and they're all there, so I'm pretty sure safety car should be in this lap and we can go racing again. And this is exciting, isn't it? There's a Williams in P1. When's the last time we saw that in Formula 1? Well, I can tell you, last week. But in real F1, I couldn't tell you that. Because yes, last week we had the Williams on the Dean on the top step. Could it be 2-2 for the Williams team? It's not going to be easy for Piazzardi's on the same tyre as him, but of course Alonso and Conrad on soft tyres could easily put a spanner in the works. But let's just see what happens over the next few laps. I'm pretty sure we should go back on board with Eugene, who will probably start to back off any moment now, just to give the safety car time to disappear. Keep warming your tyres, keep warming your tyres, and just wait for the lights to go out. It won't be long, but of course you don't want to overheat your tyres, because that's just not helpful either. So whew, I can finally take a breath. I'll take another one just to be sure. Who knows if I'm going to be able to breathe again. Still no sign of the safety car coming in, but we're not quite at the end of sector 2 yet, although we are getting there, so I'm pretty sure now would be the time to back off if you are the leader. There you go. Finally. And I believe that is the full quota of safety cars and virtuals, so we are racing to the end. And we still have 12 of the 17 that started, so that's a, considering the beginning of the race was wet, that is an awesome amount of drivers still in the race. Unfortunately, most of the retirements were in the dry, but I'm sure the stewards will be sorting out some of those, and that's a unique way to hold up the field, lad. Okay. You've not got this right at all, have you? Safety car's still there, you cannot go yet. So that's not a good restart at all. We are green now. Let's just have a look at Zardi, who's going to try into turn 1. Is he going to go straight for it? No, I think he's going to... Wait, oh, Conrad's going to get through. past Alonso, you see, but which one of them is going to have the line for Rouge and Radion? I think Alonso is on the line, but one of them is going to have to yield. There is space for both of them, and that's just put them both off. Oh, off! It's happened. That is not what you want to see. There won't be a safety car for that, but that is... oh dear. I'm pretty sure that is going to be Conrad. Oh, Calvin's round as well. This has not been a good lap for Alonso, not a good restart for several of these drivers, but Eugene is now in the lead of this race, and not without controversy behind him, but Phantom is up into P4. Can he get that critical podium which he's been chasing by staying out on the hard tyres? Vino gets track limits, and I don't think he even cares anymore. Let's just have a final check. Yep. Vino at the back there. Oh dear me. Something doesn't sit right with me with that incident, but anyway, I'll let the shoes deal with it. But that just didn't look like it was ever on for anybody. But anyway, Phantom's defending from Alonso. Can he get through? Phantom goes defensive into the bus stop. Can he stay ahead as he approached the... and no, that's not going to be a good... a little bit of contact there. That could open the door for Speed Knighton to get into the top 5, which is... it's almost there. He's got one lap left after this one, and that's just more acceleration given from the soft tyres. I think he's just going to be able to get out. Phantom went for it, but it just hasn't worked for him. He's still on for a great result though, and one that Williams seem desperately need. Caesar's got a... well, it's not going to change anything down in P8, is it? He might, you know. Might jump Renault ahead of him, but anyhow. Speed Knighton's after Alonso now, and I think he can... he's got the pace to do it as well, but he doesn't have a lot of laps left. He's probably got 2 more opportunities to do the overtake. Possibly 3 if you're feeling brave. But there's a Renault facing the wrong way at the back of the grid. It's all gone wrong for several of the drivers in the late stages. However, Calvin is the highest running clean driver, followed by Phantom and Mackett, the only 3 left. Of course, you did have Conrad there, but I won't speak any more of that incident. It didn't have the best camera angle, but it definitely looked like someone should have backed out, and nobody did. But I'm sure the stewards will be having a long look at that one later on. Doesn't change anything, of course. We now know that Matt Travis is going to keep his championship lead, and his closest DRS for the final lap. Alonso quickest in the McLaren, but Quintin is in a podium position. He'd be happy with that. This is his favourite track in the world, and you can almost see the smile behind that helmet. And he's not done yet. He may be able to get P2 or maybe the win as well. Can Knighton get past Alonso on the final lap? We'll see. But I think we'll stay on board with this battle, because any of these top 3 can still win the race. They all have penalties. I should probably check. They're all on 3 seconds, so whoever crosses the line first wins this race, unless any of the other drivers get another penalty in the final half a lap or so. This is coming down to the wire. Quintin is right there to take advantage of any slip-ups, but of course he has to be careful, because Alonso is right behind him, and right behind him is Speed Knighton, who is ruthless when it comes to opportunities. When he smells blood, he's going to come and get you. But for now, Zard is in P2. He looks like the one that's most likely to make anything happen on this final lap. We're coming into the final sector of the race now. Quintin, there you go, that's what I was talking about. That penalty's just killed his chance of a podium, I think. The smile you saw at the top of Radion has now just disappeared, and in his place is more of a scowl. But hey, let's see what happened. That should be one. I've done that several times. I've got to straighten up 3 seconds. How's he got away with that? Anyway, Alonso's going down the inside of Quintin again. That's not quite how you meant to do overtakes, but Eugene crosses the line to win. Alonso will probably win, and Alonso gets the podium, but Calvin jumps everybody and gets P2 by being clean. Speed Knighton's dropped down to P8 unfortunately due to penalties, but let's see if Matt is going to do some donuts. I have no idea what to ask the podium. I don't even know. Don't even know if anyone's going to join me today. As a note of the podium anyhow, as we on board with the sole remaining car in this race. Matt will cross the line. Everyone's watching you, and there you go. Zardy's got the in-game driver of the day, but not for penalties. That would have been a lot different. And some of the drivers are now probably going to mass upload some incidents and get them straight over to the steward's office. But I will like to thank our sponsors one more time while we watch this podium celebration. Ram Solar Renewable Energy, and go check them out at ramsolar.co.za and thank me later. Anyhow, the provisional standings. Eugene wins by half a second on Calvin. Alonso in P3, Phantom P4, Maggett 5th, Zardy 6th, Quintin drops all the way to P7, Speed Knighton goes to P8, Reno P9, Caesar P10, Matt P11, the last classified, well actually Conrad is classified a classified finisher in 12th, and the non-finishers were Xander Risky, Dukester Matter and championship leader Trav, which doesn't really make much of a difference as his closest competitor came 5th, and that's not good enough to overhaul him, but it would have been different had that incident not happened between Alonso and Conrad. But anyhow, that is all the racing action for this week. Stick around for a bit and see if any of the drivers want to come and chat. I don't even know if they know how to be honest. I don't have everybody added, especially drivers that are reserves. But that was a race to remember. Not necessarily for the right reasons, but I'll remember in this one at the end of the season. Of course, next week is not Belgium. That will make it Italy, and then another classic track, another favourite. So as we sit here waiting and wondering if any of the podium people are going to come and have a chat, I would thank all of the viewers in the stream for watching. Thank you later. And I hear someone, it doesn't tell me who joins, which is annoying. Okay. Well, it's a shame I can't be speaking to you, but thank you for doing that. I'll try. Right, P3 I think we'll start with today, if you're here. No.
I don't know who was P3.
Alonso was P3 apparently, but he's not here. Okay, we'll start with... I'll go with P2 then. Calvin's here. Hey, how you doing? It was an eventful race for you. It started off wet. Guide us through it. At what point did you think the podium was on today?
Honestly, I didn't think it was. The last safety car really helped me. I just managed to avoid all the penalties. So that was basically the key. had an unlucky start, getting damage on the first corner. Not the first one, going through a rouge, got some damage, so I ended up dropping back to about 12, 13. But fought back pretty well, and the last couple of safety cars really helped, and I know I had good straight line pace, so I was making a lot of ground on the straights. Came in handy and managed to get a podium and nearly a win as well.
Yeah, it was very close to being a win, but unfortunately it wasn't quite. But definitely good job for keeping it clean. It's definitely benefited you at the end.
Because I've raced with a lot of the other guys in other league, and I'm up there, like, you know, some of them are now like top division and then second one, and I'm in the third one. So racing against them competitively is quite a boost. Definitely a confidence boost.
Definitely, you can tell. Well, sometimes just keep it clean. It gains your positions at the end, especially with the late safety cars, which we can never predict. But you did that, and congrats for that. But next week is Italy. You're looking forward to that one. How do you think you'll do?
It's not my favourite track. I DNF'd the last league race I raced there. Hopefully that won't happen, but I've got a lot of confidence going into the next couple of races, getting into some other ones I really like, so hopefully I can take that through to Italy and somehow fluke a good result.
Well, you certainly managed to get a good result today, and maybe that will give you some added confidence next week. But if you do have a DNF, it's not on me. I won't be the curse for that one.
It's not on you, though.
I may have cursed some people in qualified, but I'm not claiming that one. Anyway, congrats on the result today, and I'm sure you're happy with P2 in the end. Race winner Eugene. Hello.
Good evening.
How's it going? To feel on the top step, you must be bewildered, happy. Just talk us through your emotions.
I was studying SAF1 Phantom now. My teammate was like, I don't think we'll be able to do this interview with a smile on my face. I came into this race. I even told Quentin earlier today, I was like, look, I've got enormous pressure on me. I know Nadim is exceptionally quick. And I was like, you know what, I'm just going to finish the race. I'm just going to, if I score 1 point, I'll score 1 point. And as luck would have it, I found myself at the right place at the right time, and just managed to make the mediums work even right to the end. I had started catching up to me like there was nobody's business, and and I was thinking of Calvin as well, because I knew he had less penalties and I had to catch him or have a 3-second gap to him. So
yeah, it's definitely all about the penalties when there's a late safety car, but you could definitely tell when everyone else came in and you stayed out. It was like, this is on, but I didn't say it like that, but I could definitely tell something could happen. But you managed to score an awful lot more than 1 point, so congratulations on that.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
But Italy next. Are you here for that, or is the seat going back to Nadim?
I'll be racing the next 3 or 4 races. So I'll be here for Italy and Russia and stuff like that. So I'm looking forward to those. I'm not going to say the same will happen next week, but who knows, eh?
Exactly, who knows indeed. It's certainly a track where it could happen again, so I'll look forward to seeing you then. But
definitely,
I think for now I'm going to end the stream, and congrats to all the finishers, and stewards, get the coffee on. It's going to be a long one. I will catch you all next week. Goodbye.